everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to study about the sensitive teeth, or I should commonly say this to be sensitivity. So most of the time when the patient comes to us, he has a problem. He will say you that whenever I eat something very cold or very hot, I have this tingling sensation or a very painful sharp sensation in my tooth region. Now the most common diagnosis which we make in this case is going to be sensitivity, okay? But you have to be very particular about the types of stimulus the person is coming in contact with, and that is when you take a proper case history or the patient history. Moving ahead, before the video, let me tell you, if these videos are very useful to you, if you like this video, share this video with your friend and also subscribe to the channel. Moving ahead with the introduction of the dentinal hypersensitivity. So the dentine hypersensitivity is one of the most commonly encountered clinical problem. The most common problem you will be seeing in your clinics, in your patients, is this. The next thing is, it is clinically described as an exaggerated response to application of a stimulus exposed dentine. Now what happens is, for example, in certain conditions, in normal conditions, this is the enamel layer, and lower to the enamel layer you know that we have our dentine layer. Now because of certain factors, there is loss of this enamel layer. Now as this enamel layer is lost, there is going to be exposed dentine. Now okay, for example, this enamel layer is being removed from here. Now what is happening is, your dentine region is kind of exposed. Now this exposed dentine is very sensitive, okay? This dentine is very sensitive. A simple stimuli which is very hot or very cold can make this dentine undergo hypersensitivity pain. So it is mainly when there is exposed dentine in a patient that can lead to exaggerated response to application of any stimulus. Now this can be a very challenging situation for us also and for the patient also to describe, because there are many other problems which are related to dentinal sensitivity. So it can be a challenging situation to describe. Now moving ahead, if we see the factors which can lead to the dentine hypersensitivity, or I should say which affect, so it can be your age, gender, diet, plaque, socioeconomic status, occupation, and certain oral hygiene practices. Now how come age? Usually what happens is that people who are of older age are more prominently affected to your dentine hypersensitivity, because what is going to happen is, with age their enamel layer is going to get damaged, okay? Now in case of diet, if I see, then people who undergo diets like soda, if you see some people have this habit of taking a lot of coke in their diet, a lot of sodas in their diet. What will happen? There will be damage which will be caused by these drinks to the enamel, and that can also lead to the exposure of the dentine layer. The next thing we have is plaque. Now plaque accumulation can also lead to the damage of the enamel and can further lead to dentine exposure. If we talk about the socioeconomic status, then most of the time people who belong to a lower socioeconomic status do not exactly know how to take care of their teeth, which leads to a poor prognosis that can further lead to any kind of damage to the enamel, and the dentine is going to get exposed. Now if you see specific oral hygiene practices, then you see some people are there, some patients will be doing a very abruptive and a very hard brushing. A very hard tooth brushing can lead to abrasion, right? And that is also going to lead to loss of enamel from the surface, and that is going to lead to dentine exposure. Moving ahead, now what can be the cause of your enamel loss? Abrasion can be one cause, adhesion, erosion, effraction, recession, all this we have studied already in the videos. So these can be the other causes which can lead to the loss of enamel. And you see here, as soon as the enamel is lost, this white structure here is said to be the enamel, and as soon as the enamel is lost, there is this exposure of yellow color material, and that is what you say to be the dentine. So as soon you see the enamel is getting removed from the site, the dentine is exposed, and this dentine, when comes in contact with the stimulus, reacts as a painful activity. So moving ahead, what can be the other causes of loss of enamel? Bleaching, very common. Now some people who have discoloration in their teeth, they will come to you and say that, doctor, please whiten our teeth. For that, what you're going to do is you will give a bleaching treatment. Now bleaching also, as you're using acids in it, it is going to lead to enamel loss, which will finally lead to dentine exposure. Okay, not at the first time, but if somebody goes bleaching regularly, that it can lead to loss of enamel. Other thing is root caries in patients. Now it can be genetic at times also, people who have very thin periodontium, poor plaque control, or I should say poor prognosis, cervical decay, bruxism, toothbrush abrasion, or crown preparation. In cases of crown preparation also, we have this situation where we have to remove the enamel layer. So that can be other cause. Moving ahead, how can we relieve this sensitive pain while we are doing the whitening treatment or any other treatment in general condition? So if you are doing the whitening treatment, you have to brush your teeth before the whitening treatment and not after the whitening treatment. Always suggest your patient to undergo a desensitizing gel or a toothpaste. Now in general condition also, if a patient comes to you or any person asks you that he has sensitivity, then what should we go for? So what you can suggest your patient is, you can go for a desensitizing toothpaste. There are a lot of desensitizing toothpaste which are available in the market. Regular use of these toothpaste or gel will lead to improvement in their sensitivity. Other thing which we can do is that we also have to rinse our mouth after we have undergone the bleaching treatment, so that every excess acid which is there on the surface can be washed off and the pH is being balanced. The next thing what we can do is, there are desensitizing pastes which are calcium based available in the market. You can suggest the patient to use the fingertip to use these paste or gel on their tooth surface. This will also relieve the sensitivity. Moving ahead to the direction of the movement of the fluid in the dentinal tubule. So if we talk about the fluid, it's basically the centrifugal fluid which moves. Maybe it will move from the pulp towards outside. So for this is your pulp. If you see, this is your pulp. Okay. Now if this is your pulp, so maybe it can move outside from the pulp surface, or maybe from the outer surface it can come towards the pulp. If it comes from the outer surface, it must be coming from enamel, then to dentine, and then to the pulp. Okay. So that is, if the centrifugal fluid movement is away from the pulp, then the reasons can be cooling, drying, evaporation, tactile sensation, all these things can be seen. Okay. The pain when the movement of the fluid is outwards, like from pulp it is going towards the dentine, then the pain is going to be more sharp, it is going to be more rapid, and 75% of the pain, 75% of the time pain is because of this reason. Also there is A delta fiber which are involved in this particular movement of the fluid. But now when the centrifugal fluid movement is inwards, like towards the pulp, in such condition what is going to happen is that heating and probing sensation will be there, and the pain is going to be less dull, and also the C fibers are going to be involved in it. Moving ahead to the theories of dentinal hypersensitivity. So right now I'm just telling you the heading, but then we can have a separate topic discussion on this particular theories. If we see the theories of dentinal hypersensitivity, there are three commonly said theories: the neural theory, odontoblastic transduction theory, and the hydrodynamic theory. If we have different kind of tests, like if a patient is sitting in front of you and you want to test the grading, or you have to number the pain, the amount of pain he is having. So what are the different tests we have? We have the verbal rating scale. Now in the verbal rating scale, we ask the patient to verbally tell us what kind of discomfort is he feeling. So if there is no discomfort felt by the patient, you will give it a score 0. If there is mild discomfort, then the score is going to be 1. Significant discomfort 2. Significant discomfort lasting for more than 10 seconds is going to be 3, which is going to be a chronic condition. Now the next thing is the visual analog scale. On visual analog scale, there is a straight line of 10 centimeter. If the patient numbers towards 0, that means no pain is there, and if he numbers towards 10, then that means there is extreme pain. If we come to the numerical rating system, then normally we will ask the patient that he can range the numbers, that from which range he is having pain, from 0 to 10 or 0 to 100. So that in that way also the patient can tell you. If he is not exactly able to tell you the number, then he can tell you in this range also. This is the most important one, the faces plane scale. Now the faces plane scale is basically this kind of chart, or I should say a scale, which is mostly used in pedo patients, because small children, they will not be able to number the pain. Okay, so now when you show them this chart, they will be able to see these emojis and express their views towards the pain they are feeling. And this is the Faces Pain Scale. Now this Faces Pain Scale was exactly adapted from the Faces Pain Scale in order to make it possible to score widely from 0 to 10 metric, and by this the patient can more accurately tell you that what kind of pain is he having. Now coming to the types of sensitivity. The types of sensitivity can be reversible or non-reversible. Now reversible is whenever the pain can be reversed back to a normal condition. For example, a patient comes to you and he tells you, I have this pain in my tooth. Now you have to find out that whether it is reversible or it is irreversible. A pain which is reversible is going to get back to a normal condition, or you can say will cure after some time if there is regular use of desensitizing toothpaste, fluoride gel, rinse, varnishes, or oxalates of ferric, aluminium or potassium protein precipitants. But in a case of non-reversible sensitivity, the condition will never get back to normal on the usage of toothpaste. Now in those conditions, you can use a GIC, or you can use resin which are filled or unfilled, or we can go for root canal filling. Okay, these are mostly the cases where the chances of reversal is very, very low. Coming to the treatment. Now for the treatment, just keep in mind at the time when you have to desensitize your nerve, you can use potassium nitrate. Okay, so potassium nitrate can be used when you have to desensitize your nerves. Now anti-inflammatory agents can be corticosteroids. Cover and plugging the dentinal tubules. Now cover and plugging the dentinal tubules means we are going to cover the dentine which has been exposed. Now as we cover this dentine which is exposed, obviously something is going to cover it, the exposed dentine, and now what will happen is that there will be no pain which will be felt by the patient. Now to cover these exposed dentine, what we can do is we can use some ions or salts like calcium hydroxide, calcium phosphate, ferrous oxide, potassium oxalate, or sodium monofluorophosphate, and then so on. So these are the different ions and salts which can be used to plug or close the exposed dentinal tubules. Other than that, we can use certain dentine sealers like GIC, composites, oxalic acids, and fluoride varnishes. In rare cases, we go for the periodontal soft tissue grafting, or crown placement can also be done. Now this crown placement will mainly lead to a kind of covering to the dentine or the exposed dentinal tubules, which will prevent it from further desensitization, from further sensitivity. Okay, so these are different type of treatments which you can give to a person who is having irreversible type of sensitivity. In normal reversible cases which are reversible in nature, there you simply suggest the patient to take some desensitizing toothpaste, fluoride gels, or any other oxalates of ferric or something. Okay, but for non-reversible cases, we have this whole chart of treatments which can be given to the patient. So this, and also sometimes you see people have also started taking lasers as a treatment for sensitivity in chronic cases. So this was all about dentine sensitivity. It was a small video. I hope this first topic was clear to you. If you like the video, share this with your friends and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.